So it would appear that we are live again. The issue here today that we are not actually serializing the Cortinians the way that we need to. So the goal here is to make a class that is an Cortinian, and that can be serialized by X, Y, Z, and Q. We're going to go ahead and take this little chunk right here out. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the A star waypoint piece. Rotation. Well, I should put this at the very beginning here. And I'm going to have an initialization. Yeah. Okay, so 20 and XYZW. Okay. Okay, so we should be able to theoretically serialize and deserialize using this data type. Alright, so let's go ahead and copy this. I'm going to go to the rotation bit. And right down here, we are going to cast this, not cast, but we're going to build a Inquartinian and pass it that. The new data type instantiation piece is there. There we go. So now we are getting the rotation thrown into that class, which should be able to be serialized into what this thing can recognize. I hope. I think I pray. Let's go and upload this to the server. And then we're going to go ahead and relaunch this. Okay, so what we need to do now is to make sure that this is getting serialized properly. Where is that rotation bit? Rotation bit looks like it has a X, Y, Z, and W. So it looks like it's serialized properly. Let's go ahead and try to see if Unity 3D here can pull out those variables. Oop, apparently something's failing. Oh, stupid HTTP, which is so insecure. Never really know if you're getting the document that you think you're getting. very interesting indeed. um, yes, very interesting indeed. For those of you who can't quite see because of that screen, so these are the things I built in the Rust, and see, there's multiple in here. It looks like maybe no, just that one. Okay. So yeah, basically, this gives you an idea of how things are being built. Um, it's very interesting because none of these seem to be the same. Same offset, which really bothers me because if I can't figure out exactly how the offset's calculated, it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to properly, render the world the way that it's rendered in this game. And I do not like that idea because I want full copy of everything perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this terminal to kick over. Control B down. Okay. Oof. That's not a very good sign. Okay, yeah, that was when it was broken. Oh, that looks nice. I like the way that prints. Okay, so you should be able to render the world now. I mean, so there does seem to be a slight offset to the right. It seems. Right, it's not the left, it just seems to be slightly off to the right on all of these. So if that was properly rotated, it would be there. And I have no doubt that it's might actually be an issue with the foundation spacer. Go to project, go to foundation. Open foundation, is it the 0, 0? Yeah, it is. Okay, so interesting there. But yeah, so apparently we're deserializing rotation to some degree. So I have to go to game manager here. X, Y, Z, W, Q, W. Okay, so this should be used in all of these conversion table aspects. Though, thinking about it, considering I should probably just define U and R, or position rotation at the very top of all of this, because there's no special different treatment that I need for rotation on anyone. Well, at least not that I know of yet, but even if we did, I could just have an offset for each, so this is kind of weird. Nevertheless, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep swimming it. Right. So we should be able to save this and just boot up the game manager and get all the rotation thingies updated. Ooh, that's looking nice. What the heck happened with my mouse? It happened again. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. That looks like it's happening in the world. Okay, so let's try to fix the spacing issue here. Let's click on both of these. Like R, no. What is the spacing? It's like, what, 3 times? Right, so I'm gonna click on that. Let's try to do like R3. Right, let's scale. And I should probably click on the wall itself. Why is Y so messed up there? Why is that? Oh, this is some weird messed up tortured thing. Whatever. Do 3 there. Yeah, so I'll do everything by 3. It's 25 times 3, so it's like 0.75. Okay, so now with all of those updated, we can load that again. the structures I'm placing down. That actually looks about right. Nice, nice. Okay, so this is legitimately what you would see in the Rust game. I'm actually quite happy with that. If I go over to Rust and I go to see my work, it's actually exactly what I have going on is that for structures. So I'm going to go ahead and continue building and see if I can, well, obviously there's more things I need to add. Let's see if I can invoke some of the extraneous issues that might arise from this type of reconstruction. I need the low walls, so obviously that's going to be an issue. Let's see what happens when I do that. I mean, obviously it's going to be a position offset, but like, I'm just curious to see. Um, I'm just curious to see this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Okay. This is gonna be cool. So, I mean, I'm guessing by now there's been an update to the server. Yeah, there's been one. Okay, good, good, good. Let's see what this looks like. This is gonna be epic. So we'll go ahead and go to scene. We'll go ahead and click on it. Got this structure way over here. Yeah, the half walls are missing. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, what's that whole thing? Like an O wall issue? Or I guess I didn't. No, there's an issue with that prefab. I guess it's just not big enough. I mean, it looks like it meets there. So that wall that wall, the window's broken. It looks like actually the window needs to be taller. Needs a taller aspect bottom piece. The door looks like it's working. Oh, that's just. I mean, the door could be a little bit lower as well there. But like, I'm really happy with this. I got pretty far in emulating what this is. You know, I haven't built my own game yet, but I would say that, you know, rebuilding the world from one game into another engine, that, you know, because I mean the whole thing is that they try to hide the Unity aspects of the editor because they don't want you having access to the good goods like the prefabs here, the the color and the opaque and the all the mechanics of it that they're trying to hide. Um, but if I can pull it all into another client, you know, it would allow people to kind of do debug work in, say, Python or something. You don't necessarily need to have a entire, you know, Unity engine running the game if you are a trusted, you know, admin owner or whatever, and you're accessing the server through your own custom client for the purpose of just, you know, making sure the map is viable for your players. I don't see a problem with this. You know, obviously I'm not going to be implementing the physics and everything else in my client. It would more or less just be like this. You can move around, fly around, probably take damage and stuff, but I'm not really sure how I would make things target you. Because you wouldn't even be a vanished player, you would just be a game object, not even represented in the game server. I mean, I guess you could make it represent you in the game server, but that's not my goal in this project. So again, you know, I want to be able to build something in Unity, build something in Rust and have it pop up in Unity 3D, which you see here. If I'm kind of curious how the level world height offset. So if I start building here, right, and I start building all over, and then I let this program over here load. Wait, it's supposed to. Yeah, it just loaded. Okay. I can go ahead and request another download with the start method, this function. I can go ahead and find the very last thing that I built, at the very bottom here, in scene mode. Yeah, see, this is the very last thing I built. And you can see the things that I kind of just placed all throughout the map. I guess not all of them are easy to spot with their size or their location to each other. If I go up here, I can see that one as well. So if I click on, I should kind of get an idea. They should highlight, maybe. Yeah, highlight over there. So like, you know, that's the distance that I traveled in game, which is, it's kind of cool because like, you know, getting an idea of the world space that, you know, if you're like me, you might have dedicated a lot of time in Rust, and I kind of like see the world space being like decomposed into a different editor. And it's just kind of a side of Rust I thought I would never really get a chance to like look at. So yeah, I guess this is cool because I finally figured out how to serialize and deserialize JSON data into JSON and do it on C# and Python without issues. So now that I can do that, I wonder how far I can go, because this is a fun little project, you know? If I can clone buildings, then maybe I can also clone where the trees spawn, clone where the horses spawn, maybe move the horse spawns within the Unity editor and have that be like, you know, a thing. So like, say if I wanted to make like a movie editor or something, right? I would use maybe the Unity 3D aspect over here to run some Python or some C# code to kind of queue up events or spawns or, you know, some basic things that may, you know, increase the value of the game. And so that's the general purpose of this, is because I see a lot of these, you know, pay-to-win servers, and they utilize web material, but they don't offer any resources on like how to hook up your own PayPal to it, how to do your own, you know, guest work. So the idea here was that I just wanted code that would connect my Rust server to my, you know, dev server, my Python server, or web server, if you will. Because now I could, like, you know, potentially go into my web editor and, or, sorry, web browser, and I could request that these crates drop 3 times more often when like specific players are online. So say if I know that there's a famous streamer on my server, maybe I would make it a little bit easier for him to get up over on other players in the very beginning, and then once he kind of gets hooked into the server, I would you know, put him back to the level that everyone else is on, just so he can get established and can enjoy the gameplay that my server has to offer. Um, you know, simple things like putting, you know, these power lines on the map would be very useful. Um, so those are things I want to explore. And now these should be a bit easier now that I have some data being sent back and forth between my web server and my Rust server. And so I think that about does it, guys. Oh, that was supposed to kill me. Wait. Come on. I guess I don't keep velocity at, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I don't keep velocity when I go out of NoClip, which is different from Gary's mod. I don't want that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and cut this stream for a little bit, because I need to name it.